What's up guys, CyborgSpoon here and I'm bringing you a full review for the Razer Sabertooth Elite Gaming Controller for the Xbox 360. Now I've been using this controller for almost 2 months now, so I've given it plenty of time to get my full thoughts on the controller. So let's dive right into it. Just like overall, fantastic controller, and I'm going to explain why. Now the controller is the second controller that Razer brought out for the Xbox. The first being the Onza. I'm going to speak a little bit about why this one is such an improvement over the Onza. And okay, I'll start just go for the D-pad. The Onza before had the D-pad. It was like huge triangles in each section, and to be honest, it was very clunky. At first, I liked it, but then realised it's not very good, not very. You can't really use it for anything, to be honest. Like, if you played fighting games, you'd never be able to pull out some sort of combo. This one, separate buttons, unlike the Xbox 360 controller, it's just one big pad that, you slide over. Separate buttons, so fighting games, shooting games where you've got, like, things on here, like, I don't know, night vision top or something, you've got separate little buttons, easy, a good accessible D-pad, so that's an improvement. The buttons, the face buttons here. Now this control's plugged in. As you can see, it's all lit up. It looks all nice and fancy. Buttons, they are the same hyper response buttons that the Onza had, but they've made them a little larger. They're more raised, so they're actually like, as you can see out there, they're actually like buttons basically, rather, because a lot of the complaints from the Onza were the buttons were too small. It didn't feel like you're pressing anything. Like now, I'll just press here if you can hear. Yeah, so I mean, you've got that, it's really nice. The buttons feel really great, and they're much more responsive than a normal button. We're going to focus. Are we going to focus? Yeah, we are. Yeah, so really happy with these buttons here. Really happy with these. The actual sticks themselves. Now, I'll take this off, and I'll show you in a sec. But the stick has gone back, because if you use the Onza, the stick was very soft once you played with it for a while, and it basically peeled away. This is like a mix between a normal Xbox controller, rather, and the Onza. It's very sort of rugged. It feels very stern. So it's much improved. But what you get these with the Sabertooth, and these little grips are fantastic. I don't know anyone who would play that wouldn't use these on top when they've been given them. No, I don't know if you can see, you probably can't see it. Yeah, you can just see, if we focus, you can see there's a little pattern on it. Yeah, you go, you can see much better on that one. There's the texture, they're really grippy, really grippy. Like your thumb never slips off ever. So always great for like shooting games, precise shooting. Your thumb was never going to slip off either of the sticks with these grips on top. Really glad Razer included these. I love them to absolute bits. We've got you've also got separate profiles, so you can set, like, this is like profile 1 for me. You press this button here, so that'll be like my stick sensitivities, my button layouts, all the programmable buttons here and at the back, which I'll talk about in a minute. So you've got your 2 different profiles. You can't see because there you go, profile 1, profile 2. But yeah, so you got 2 different profiles. It's a nice little feature. Say you only have one Xbox and you share the controller and the Xbox with, like, maybe your brother or your sister or whatever, and they like to use different things to you. You've got 2 separate gaming profiles you can have there. So no one's changing button layouts. For example, Call of Duty, if you play with a different button layout, or Halo, you play a different button layout, then the other person using your console, you've got two profiles here that you can program, which is a great help. Here you've got the other button, like there's 2 buttons either side of the HD screen. I don't know if it's HD. It probably is. Who knows? Who cares? It's the nice little screen. Yeah, you press that, you get the program mode, and then you can press down, you go in test mode. Press down rumble, you choose whether you want vibration in your controller or not. A lot of pro gamers will say, you know, competitive players will say you don't want vibration. Some people like vibration, some people don't, so it's a choice you have in the controller right there. Programmable mode, you choose the sensitivity of each stick. So like you press program, you click the left stick, and then you've got your sensitivity, you do it up or down, whatever you want, up to 10 it goes. You can even go down to minus 10 as well if you so choose. Now it doesn't actually, like on the Onza you had things that you could tighten and it would make the actual stick stiffer or not. But how do we get rid of that? Oh, who cares? It'll probably go away. Oh, yeah. The Onza you could tighten the stick or loosen the stick to make it different. That sensitivity is actually in-game sensitivity. It's not, these sticks you cannot change how loose or how tight they are. It's not a huge deal, but I don't see why they took that away, to be honest. Yeah, I'm not sure why I took that away. I actually quite liked having one of the sticks a bit different to the other, but yeah. Oh well, I mean, who cares, to be honest. The start and select buttons have come back. The start and back buttons, should I say, have come back to next to the Xbox guide button here. Good addition. It was dumb having them down here. Like you want to look at a scoreboard when you're playing, you have to bring your thumb down here, right away from the stick instead of just there. So glad they brought them back here. Then your first set of reprogrammable buttons. Sorry for the light in here. You got your trigger, which by the way they've gone back to the normal style trigger. Very happy about that. Less likely to break with these ones than the ones that the Onza had, and I think they feel a bit nicer, to be honest. Then you've got your bumper, and then your reprogrammable button in between here. Now the button works great, reprogrammed, but the problem I have is I actually use these buttons as the bumper buttons now, because if you see a good light, it's right next to the trigger. So when you're holding a controller, your thumb's basically on that and the trigger, so you don't have to do much movement. Now with this controller, there's actually a fairly big gap compared to a normal controller between the trigger and the bumper. So it actually feels like you've got to move your finger a far way from your bumper all the way back to your trigger, which I didn't like. So I actually made these buttons the bumpers, so I don't ever have to use these, because it's just a lot more comfortable and it's easier to transition between the two, like playing FIFA, you know, going from sprinting to doing a finesse shot or something, you know. So yeah, I think the buttons are great, the placement's really great, but they should maybe bring this bumper back a little bit so you can use this for something else, because I feel like I have to use these for the bumpers. Then the final reprogrammable buttons are back here, the little like rocker buttons where up is up on each of these is a button and down on each of these can be programmed separately. Now for whatever reason, if you didn't like these, there are a screwdriver that comes with this, and you can unscrew these, take them out, and you can put like a little cover over it so it's nice and smooth. But these are great. I use these for all the games, for COD, for Halo, especially first person shooters, not so much for FIFA or anything like that. More for shooters, like so I don't have to take my aim off the analog sticks to reload or crouch or jump or whatever. I've got them set so I'm moving around, and the great thing is your finger naturally just sits across the middle of them, so you can just rock it down, rock it up, you press some buttons. There's no chance you ever accidentally pressing them because they're fairly sturdy. I mean, if you hear it, it's not like they're, you know, I mean, if that's just me rolling my finger up, it's not pressing them. It's not pressing it at all, it's just rolling up and down it. It's not pressing. You've got to actually put some pressure down, so you're never going to accidentally press the buttons. So yeah guys, another little feature, the little screw off cable, which is nice, you know, it makes it compact, good for travelling, taking it around your friend's house, taking it to LAN events, stuff like that. And the cable, you've got the braided cable, can't really see it, can you? Yeah, that's a bit better. You can see you've got the braided cable instead of the standard Xbox One, so less likely to curl and less likely to break, a much stronger cable, so the controller lasts longer. But yeah guys, that's probably everything I have to say about this controller. Really like everything about it. The buttons are great, the analog sticks with these covers are great, D-pad really good, you've got lots of options with your little setting menu here. Start and back up where they should be. You've got the two reprogrammable buttons, even though my worst point about this controller, my biggest complaint is how far away the bumper from the trigger is, so that I've had to use these buttons as the bumpers now. And then you've got your 4 reprogrammable rock buttons here that just rock back and forth, which are great. The controller feels really nice, got a really nice finish, feels really good in your hand. I think it's a bit smaller than the Onza, but that's fine, you know, it doesn't matter to me at all. And then you've got the nice Razer logo here, so it looks really cool. For the price, I got this controller for about £70, and that is expensive. It is expensive, and especially for a controller, it's not cheap. But do you know what? If you've got the money, I think you should splash out on this controller because it's going to last you forever, and it is a great bit of kit if you want to just take your gaming, you know, just to that next level. It is a really good piece of kit from Razer. Really happy with it. So as always, I do a like rating out of 10, guys, and today I'll be giving the Razer Sabertooth an 8 out of 10. Simply, an 8 out of 10, it'd be higher, but I'm not happy with the gap in between here. Like, I literally don't ever press the bumpers because of this. It's just, it feels uncomfortable actually moving my finger from the trigger to the bumper, so I have to use these to be the bumpers. And the price are the only reasons it's an 8 out of 10. If they weren't, so, you know, if the price was a bit cheaper and the bumper was closer to the trigger, this would be a lot higher. You know, 9s, the high 9s. But yeah, 8 out of 10 for this Razer Sabertooth controller, guys. I highly recommend it to anyone that thinks about competitive play or just wants to get a bit of edge, you know, online against people that don't have this sort of controller, that don't have reprogrammable buttons. So yeah, that's my review of the Razer Sabertooth, guys. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you did enjoy, please leave a like. You know, comment, let me know if you liked it. Stuff you didn't like, you know, leave some criticism. Subscribe to the channel, guys. And I'll catch you in the next video. I've been CyborgSpoon. Thanks for watching.